Now, I've just heard the news of Thomas Frank being sacked by Tottenham Hotspur today, and it's just a feeling of, for me personally, me being feeling numb. That's the word, because it's a feeling that I've been feeling for quite a while, and it's not a feeling of relief that he's gone, because I think that'd be silly, very silly, when really, to be honest, there was not really an actual answer to solving Tottenham Hotspur's problem. But let's get straight into it. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it's your boy Mr. Box Office from Mr. Box Office TV, back with another video for you today on a very, very sad and numb day from Mr. Box Office, your professor of truth and entertainment, where Tottenham Hotspur sat Thomas Frank. Something of a decision that needs to be done, but at the same time, it shows you how low we have become right now as a football club. And the fact that I feel numb about what's going on at Tottenham Hotspur shows you how what I've been feeling for a long time. That I've disconnected more about being a Tottenham Hotspur fan than ever. Yeah, it became a situation. It should have been made a long time ago. But I think, especially after the game yesterday, which I didn't go to, but I saw when I went past the station how many fans didn't turn up for the game, and showed you how so many fans are disconnected completely with this manager, but particularly with the football club, the football that we were producing. Now, I'm not saying that this is going to be the answer that is going to save us from relegation. I know we're in massive trouble, and I knew that for a long time that we were in massive trouble. The only thing that I thought is that we would get out of, we would get a result one way or another, some way or another, because we sometimes do that sometimes. But it doesn't look like that's going to happen. The injuries are piling up, but that shouldn't be an excuse at the moment as well. Even though I don't rate some of this squad, and I'm being honest because I don't rate this squad. But it's not just on Thomas Frank. Thomas Frank was just part of the problem, like the part of the problem with Daniel Levy, part of the problem with Karateji, part of the problem with other people that have been in charge, Antonio Conte, Nuno, Ange Postecoglou, Pochettino, and that was the last time I was really interested in Tottenham Hotspur. And before then, I was a very, very passionate fan, but that's dwindled over time. And now it's a situation now where I do think Mason is the answer for us at the moment, because he can get us, hopefully, across that line in terms of trying to get 40 points. Now, I'm not saying that it's going to be a complete and utter answer. No, I'm not saying that at all. I'm not saying that that's going to be the answer of all answers of, and solve our prayers of not being in the relegation this season. I'm not saying that at all. I'm not saying that at all as a Tottenham fan. No, I'm not. But at the moment, we're dwindling down, and we could be below Nottingham Forest after today's games. We're just about we're going to be 3 points in front of West Ham, but because Man United got that equalising goal against West Ham, that's the only reason why we're 5 points away from them rather than 3 points away from them. And so you can see that the fight is not there at the moment. We saw that in the first half against Newcastle, which, let's be honest here, we've shown a little bit more fight in the second half, but really, to be honest with you, we weren't really that great. We only could really trouble them with set pieces, which has been the same thing this season. And it shows you how we missed Romero, to be honest with you, which, again, he's not the best, he's not the world-class defender, no, but he's better than some of the players that we've got, which he's going to end up leaving anyway. So what I'm saying is this is an utter and complete mess at the moment. And a lot of people need to take the blame. Like, for instance, Johan Lang. Vinay, which I told you about, and everybody laughed at me. I said that Thomas Frank needed to prove himself because he knew what if they didn't prove himself, he knew Spurs fans would turn, especially if the football weren't great and we weren't winning games, because it's happened before with Conte, it happened before with Nuno. I said that the board being in charge wasn't great. The fact that Pratagy, and again, I didn't like Pratagy, after Pratagy needed to go as well, but he was more of a leader. Now established now that Daniel Levy wasn't actually the problem. Yes, he was the problem in terms of making mistakes, yes. But he ultimately would have got rid of Frank a long time ago, like he should have gone a long time ago. And it could be too late for Tottenham. It could be too late. The sad thing is what I say, what I've said on some few other shows, and I said it in my last video. The sad thing is I had to say, I wanted to see us lose. I wanted to see people sweat behind the scenes because I didn't think they thought that we were in relegation trouble, which is bad, massively bad. That's why we kept Thomas Frank when really we should have got rid of Thomas Frank as soon as we were in trouble. The fact that he didn't match up to the expectations of the objectives of playing on all fronts. We're out of 2 competitions. He didn't match those expectations of the board. Which tells me asks the question, was that the right sort of objectives to have? Is that the sort of identity that you want for the football club at the moment? Or should you focus on a different identity, playing the football that you want to do, and then bring it from down and then work way downwards, and that's it? But this is the football club. This is what we decided. That's what the football club and the hierarchy have decided. They want to go out and win on all fronts. But is that the right sort of objective for a club that don't really go out and buy top players, don't really go out and get make a strong squad for a manager and give support to a manager so they can compete on all fronts? And then we've got the problem of when we've got 2 games a week, we choose one competition like we did last season, and then one other competition like the league last season end up being 17th last season. Now look at us now this season, we're losing home games like it's no tomorrow. Our win percentage with the last manager now, Thomas Frank, I think was about 33%, which is worse than, or 20. I think it was in 20s, worse than Christian Gross. So for me, there's no really simple answer to this at the moment. The only thing I'm thinking about at the moment is Tottenham Hotspur need to grind out results right now. And whether that's going to end up us not being relegated, I don't know. This is not having a go at Thomas Frank, because Thomas Frank is just he wasn't the guy, no. But there's a bigger problem at hand here. But the thing is, at the moment, we can't think of that at the moment. All you can think about is, how can we get to 40 points so we can be safe for next season? Then the inquest needs to happen in terms of what needs to change. Whether that change will happen, that's for another video. But it's a sad day being a Tottenham fan. Sad day being someone that passionately as a kid supported, because, let's be honest here, my father supports the club, and this club could be in massive trouble going forward. I know people call me negative. Well, there's a reason why I kept feeling the way I felt ever since Pochettino left, because more and more as the seasons went on, I started to get very disillusioned. What are we as a football club? And it goes back to the whole thing about identity, values, something that Tottenham Hotspur pride themselves so much on. And Bill Nicholson had those values. Harry Redknapp had those values. There's been other managers in the past that had those values. Postecoglou, if you really want to know, had those values. But at the moment, we don't think we remember what our values are, what we are, what do we want as a football club. And until we get to that, we'll be back here 2 years in the next 2 years. Because I can read this football club like a book. I can read between the lines every single time about this football club. And that's why I'm very, very truthful and honest. It's your boy, Mr. Box Office. The main event. The Professor of Truth and Entertainment. The ratings killer. The oracle that told you about everything that's just happened right now. And if you don't know, you should have got to know already. I'll be back with another video soon. Hopefully also with some less reactive content on this very rainy day in London. And hopefully get some news soon on what we're going to do next. But I'm not holding my breath. Please like and subscribe to the video and help me towards 2,000 subscribers, as I'm going to give you some more content soon. Less reactive content coming soon as well. And as always, if you didn't know, get to know. Support your boy, Mr. Box Office. Subscribe and like. And come on, you Spurs. And I'm out.